The Unused subs are kicking off yet another episode from our home ground of Tyler Street Sport, Auckland FC's official home from first sip to final cheers. And here's our starting lineup. Jacob Spoonley, Paul Eiffel, myself, Goran Paladin, and All Whites defender, Bill Tuiloma. Hey lads, just before we bring in our special guest for this week, Bill Tuiloma, a little bit of housekeeping. Now, we put up on Instagram a clip of Paul Eiffel, you Eifey, talking about you being responsible for the worst trialist in Phoenix history. We have been inundated with messages wanting you to reveal who that worst trialist in Nixtery is. Could you be so kind as to tell us all who is the worst trialist?
There's a few issues here. I cannot remember his name. And last night, knowing that this might come up, I was trawling through old WhatsApp groups, old Facebook groups. It took me about 2.5 hours, and I've got lots of references to him from a lot of the boys, but I haven't got a name. So give me one more week.
It's like a criminal profile.
I'm going to get the name.
Building a profile of him.
There was stories from the boys. I remember, he got nutmegged 6 times in the rondos in about a minute and a half. And then I always remember this. I pulled Ricky aside, Ricky and Goldie, and I said, just put me on his team in the 5-a-side luck, and I'll try and look after him.
Yeah.
And I remember going down the line, I crossed the ball in. I thought, this is his moment. Like, he's through on goal. He sort of turns in the air, goes to over kick it, kicks it in his own face.
What?
I don't even know how.
Why are you trying a bicycle Why are you trying a bicycle in a trial? Don't do that. That's on him.
Because he's trying to show people what he can do. Anyway, then
Yes.
Goldie pulled him aside. Goldie took him out of the training session, actually live out of the session. Come with me, son, and said, look, it's not for you. He sent him up to Hawke's Bay, who Goldie had previously been at. And he ended up playing the reserves for I think a season, maybe 2, and then went back to England. So I will get it. I will get his name.
Good
I will
man.
reveal him. I'll try and find out what he's up to now.
What I've got in my head is a miserable Wellington day, and this kid being pulled off Newtown Park's top pitch and being sent back down to the change room.
Oh, the poor bastard! The wind took the ball away from him. It was mid-bicycle kick. You do that in Auckland. There's no wind. He connects, and all of a sudden, he's a Phoenix star. Yeah, exactly. What might have been for your horrible trialist. A little bit more housekeeping just before we move on. I need to issue a retraction.
Okay.
Last week...
Is this our first apology?
Yeah, of sorts.
Yeah.
Last week, I said to Michael Vout that he absolutely smoked Corbin Piper in the first derby of the new season. I would like to apologise and say that was not the case.
Cameras there, mate.
To you, Corbin Piper, who messaged me personally, you did not get smoked. You stood your ground, and it was a wonderful one-on-one battle. And I very much look forward to the day where you will join the Unused subs, and we can talk about your physical prowess and, again, the fact that you did not get smoked by Auckland FC's goalkeeper, Michael Vout.
Can I also issue an apology?
Okay.
I wrote down Liam Rose. I wrote it down. And for 20 minutes, I was calling him Josh Rose. And then I looked down at my phone and Daniel McBreen has sent me like, what the fuck are you doing? It's Liam. He wrote Liam in caps. I just have no idea what happened there. Sorry, Liam. Sorry.
Should we get into the weekend wrap where we saw Auckland FC drop off top spot? They are 1 in behind Sydney FC now after a 1-1 draw with Brisbane Roar. What about those free kicks? Let's start with Lockie Brook and a fabulous technique. We've got the attacker, we've got the goalkeeper. From your point of view, Eifey, absolutely perfect from Lockie?
Unbelievable. I think to get that kind of power and to get up and down is so difficult, Normally you can get that sort of angle and it's a dippy one, but yeah, as soon as it left his foot, I thought, oh my God, that's a chance. I was surprised the keeper even got anything on it. He gets fingertips on it. Spoons might tell you he should have got across quicker from the goalkeepers union, but I think it's one of the best free kicks I've seen certainly this season. So nice for Lockie Brook to get off get on the score sheet and get his first goal and to do that in front of the home fans as well. It was a pretty cool moment.
The strike was so good, Eifey, that I found myself just watching. And so Seamus is
became a fan in that moment.
Yeah, Seamus is commentating. And then I can hear him like winding up. You know how you get the sense that they're getting to the last words?
Oh, he's coming to me.
And all I can think is, shit, I have to talk. I had nothing. Literally nothing.
Well, you've never had a problem with that before. This poor bastard can't get a word in edgeways when you get started. And then Francis de Vries, mate. Francis de Vries, we know that he's accurate with his delivery, but who knew that he had that in his locker, cannoning one up against the crossbar, Ifey?
No, I knew. I've seen it. Not at this level. I've seen it in the National League. He used to do it quite regularly, and I was just surprised at the distance. And I think even the keeper was. I think he probably thought, he's going to try and sort of chip this into the box. And then as he's taking his run, I'm thinking, he's going to have a go here. And it's one of those that leaves his foot and it goes ever so high and then dips kind of at the last minute. And I think if you watch the keeper, he's absolutely nowhere near it. If that had dipped in under the bar, what a way to win it that would have been.
What about Wellington Phoenix going down 1-0 to MacArthur? Harry Sawyer with a late goal there. And yes, the result will be disappointing, but the performance of Josh Olowiemi in goal for the Wellington Phoenix Spoon, he shone like a star that day.
He did. And he's a lovely kid. Like, he always has time for you. He comes up and has a chat to us off air, or I think he's had a couple of discussions on camera as well. But a very level individual and very honest as well. Like, he gives you genuine feedback and he admits things that he could have done better. And to see him have that sort of game, especially after the bloody highlights that keep on getting replayed in the derby, it was really cool.
Yeah, look, I'd agree. I think Olowiemi was unbelievable. Save after save after save. The one where he's come through from halfway, that's so difficult to blow. And he stood up and he stood up and he stood up, and then he's reacted at exactly the right time to save that. That was brilliant. So I know they didn't get the points, but that'll do him the absolute world of good. He's somebody who I don't know well, but he always takes the time to, give me a little wave and how are you sort of thing. And yeah, so, long may that continue. Hopefully he's right on it, and that'll give him the confidence he needs to crack on.
The save that you mentioned, Ifey, where the player's in on goal from 50 metres out, it was almost like what Michael Vout spoke about last week, came to fruition, came to life, because there he was sweeping half the goddamn field, and he still pulled off a save.
Yeah, it's magnificent, because the forward should score there. Forward's got a lot of time to make his mind up. He's trying to make the keeper do something, and that was where Josh was smart, I think. He got out nice and early, and then he stood up, and he made the centre forward make a decision rather than the other way round, and then he reacted off of that, and bang, his leg was out, and he's made a great save. And you could see what it meant to him as well in that moment, because he knew if they scored there, it's definitely curtains. It didn't matter in the big scheme of things because they got beat, but he makes another good save not too long after that and kept him in the game.
What Olowiemi's decided really quickly is he's going to back off and he's going to engage at the very edge of the 18-yard box. You can see that as a strategic point in what he's trying to employ. And he waits and he waits and he waits. And right before the strike, if you can see Gurjan just open up the hips. And that point, Josh is like, there's my moment. And he spread himself so well to block down to the left. So decisive goalkeeping. It was brilliant to see from him. Putting on my Wellington Phoenix hat for the moment, though, what an absolute bugger Philip Curto was. That was a hit and a half from Carlo Armiento right at the end, mate. That could very easily have nestled in the top right-hand corner.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous save. I mean, there was not enough shots that he had to save. Obviously, that was the first one on target, 92nd, 93rd minute. But amazing hit from Armiento, and I think it goes back to what we were saying in the program. Like, get him the ball. He's the guy that can do damage. And I don't think there was enough. He didn't get enough opportunities. Didn't get the ball enough. Eze probably the same. I love Eze's work ethic. It's amazing, but sometimes he's doing so much that he's not where we need him to be.
He's doing too much, so he's not doing what he's supposed to.
Yeah, that's the weekend wrap. Upcoming this weekend, the Wellington Phoenix welcome Adelaide.
Good
Tough
game.
assignment.
Good
It'll
game.
be a good game. And Auckland FC, it's almost top versus bottom. Newcastle arrives on their doorstep.
But Newcastle rolled victory earlier in the season, so unpredictability and abundance for the Jets.
All right, we've dilly-dallied long enough. Let's bring in our big guest for this week on the Unused Subs. His name is Bill Tuiloma. Bill, first of all, mate, how's your leg? Because you were subbed off in the most recent All Whites clash against Ecuador. You doing okay?
Yeah, doing a little bit better now. Obviously getting the rest and, having a few days, just not, doing anything. It's, letting the muscle heal and, should be good to go in the next month. Yeah, so.
I got tested, didn't it? Gee, Luis Diaz,
no
James Rodriguez, mate. It's a bit of a combo you came up against there, boy.
Yeah, I mean, that's exciting, man. Obviously, it's a big honor to go play for the national team and put the jersey on. It's like, and then obviously playing against big names. You know, you just mentioned Luis Diaz, James Rodriguez, all those guys that I've been watching, you know, on TV and them doing big things. And it's funny how the guys were like just talking about oh yeah, did you see Luis Diaz goal before coming to the national team? And I was like, yeah, man, I already saw that, so don't worry about it. Like it was actually, you know, it was fun, you know, it was exciting to come up
Yeah.
with those
No,
best.
stop it. It can't be fun.
Talk
I'd be
us through
freaking
that. Yeah,
out.
so,
It is fun because, you know, it's you never get a chance. It's once in a lifetime you play against one of the best wingers at this time. So
well, it could be twice in a lifetime, Bill, because I mean, there's the World Cup
It could
draw
be,
coming
yeah,
up soon.
with the World Cup. We might
So we're
draw
not
them,
going to
yeah.
give anything away. We're very aware that Colombians are big watchers of the Unused stuff.
Are they? I had no idea.
But was there any sort of like a plan going in for like a one-on-one with Luis Diaz? Were you showing him one way? Were you trying to stop him doing one of the 10 things that he can do?
We all know how he plays. He's quick. He's versatile. He's you know, you can go left foot, right foot. It was just trying to stop him is one thing. Trying to get the ball off him is another thing as well. So like, you know, I think, you know, did a pretty good job of marking him. You know, good thing he didn't score, but you know, at the same time, you know, apart from the results, still, it's pretty cool to play against him, and you know, just the player that he's been for the last few years, even with Liverpool, going back there. So you know, it's very quick. He's so light on his feet, and he can pick where he wants to go. But you know, it was like I said, it was an amazing experience, an amazing time to play against him.
You were saying there was it fun to sort of test yourself at that level. What did you find was the difference between kind of what you're used to from a national team perspective to the level of the Colombians?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think we all know I mainly play centre back, but then obviously right back was a different position that I played back in a few years. But yeah, like you can just see the different levels of, you know, you got the Bundesliga, you got the Premier League, and then, you know, MLS is slowly coming up. And obviously, you know, MLS too, don't get me wrong, they got some wingers who are dangerous, who are up and coming young as well. You know, these are
Yeah, I've heard about a young
these
guy
are
called
LA.
Messi. Bill, can you talk to us
What's
about
that?
Can you talk about
Not
this young
exactly a young
sensation
up-and-comer,
called,
Spoon.
called up-and-comer called Messi? I'm
Yeah,
curious,
you
bro.
obviously got Messi, but Messi is more like, you know, that number 10. We all know what Messi can do, and you know, he's a freak of nature, like with what he's done in the football world. But yeah, like, you know, playing as Luis Diaz, I can just feel the difference. It's like a feeling that you have to be on that pitch and just he's got the ball, and you're like, I'm looking at him, I'm trying to figure out where his eyes are going, or where his footwork are going. So yeah, it's a whole different level. And obviously playing in the national team, it's like it's basically the top, you know, top level they can be at, and it's always an honor to be, you know, caught up and putting that jersey on for the team and the country.
And it's such a massive year for New Zealand football. We're on our way to a World Cup. We keep on saying this week after week on the Unused subs. How tantalising is it to be on the cusp of a World Cup for the All Whites, and in a place that is so very familiar to you? You've been in the States for, what is it now, 8-9 years?
Yeah, 8 years, yeah, going on 9. But yeah, like I don't think it's actually really hit us yet until, you know, we flip the page and go to 2026. And I think it's when you go into that camp before the World Cup, that's when it's gonna be holy smack. We're about to make our way into the World Cup and about to put New Zealand on the map. And you know, I don't think it's really hit us yet.
Am I right in saying, guys, that the draw for the World Cup proper is only like a couple of weeks away? Is that right? Like early December?
Yeah, about 10 days away.
Yeah, early December.
Yes.
Early December, I think. And I think it's in Vegas.
And so obviously you're going to be a keen viewer of that, Bill. Are there any nations that you are desperate to play against?
I wouldn't mind running it back with Colombia, because I think that game we really like gave it to them, and I think I hope we kind of shocked them and be like, oh, New Zealand, you know, they're hungry and they're ready to come and prepare for the World Cup.
I like that a lot, Bill, because they're ranked 13th. Yeah. They're one of those top tier sides, right? So
yeah,
a couple more games against those top tier competitions. Is that what you're hungry for before the tournament?
Yeah, and it's good that we've had that in the last few tours. We played against top 30 countries, and that's a big challenge. You know, like we just played Colombia and Ecuador. You know, what they ranked at 13 and Ecuador at 23.
Yeah.
So these are countries that who are up there, and it's a good challenge for us to prepare ourselves and see where we're at before the World Cup.
I kind of want to go back a little bit,
Yeah.
because like this is an opportunity, Bill, to sort of atone for what happened in 2022 against Costa Rica. There was the disallowed goal, the failure to qualify, and so does that still? I mean, time heals all wounds, but is that still pretty raw for you? You were starting that game, Like how do you how do you feel about that 3.5 years on from that disappointment?
I haven't forgotten. I haven't forgiven. Yeah. I haven't forgotten.
No, I haven't forgotten either. Like that still lingers around in my head, and sometimes I even go watch the highlights and
torture yourself.
I know.
What do you
just,
see, mate? What do you see in the highlights? Because like we were back home, there was so much passion.
Should have seen this guy at halftime. He was spitting tacks.
Do you want to quickly give the story about what happened at halftime, Bill? So I'm in the commentary box with Biney and Fred de Jong, and then I get shipped into the studio to do the halftime stuff. And
could see the steam coming out of his ear holes, Bill.
And you get the all right, guys. Ifey's down one end of the table. G's with him. Annalie's in the middle. I'm at the very end. And it's like, okay, guys, you're on in 10, 9. And then the producer just comes on. He's like, guys, we're going to go to Jacob last.
Yeah, Goran, go to Jacob last. Goran, go to Jacob last. You need to let him just simmer down a bit.
Don't let him talk first.
I was so angry about that, the goal that wasn't given, Bill. I still can't see it. I still cannot see a foul.
Yeah, like I said, I'm still gutted. Like, it's that we had the best chance to qualify for that World Cup, and we were on things. We were so ready for that game, and just it's a game of moments. And Costa Rica, they took their moment and they stick the ball in the back of the net, and obviously we did too, but they got disallowed. And these. Not everyone's perfect. The referees can always make mistakes, and it's just sucks that it happened to us. So it's looked like it was a clean goal for us. It wasn't really, I think it was a garbage pulling him down, but it is what it is. It's But like I said, it still lingers around in my head, and like I was just like, I wish we were at that World Cup because we were so prepared for that game.
Use it, mate.
Yeah, extra fuel.
Yeah, 100%.
When you watch those highlights, Bill. And the obvious one is the Matt Garbutt tug and the disallowed goal. But do you watch your own performance and pick up things every so often and go, oh, God, I wish I had done that better, or I was really good in that moment?
Yeah, obviously there's always that different little bits and moments of that game, and especially the whole situation moving into their goal. There's always maybe I could have dropped a little bit quicker, or maybe I could have just make a foul instead of that ball going in behind me down the line, and they get a crossing, and it's kind of like a slow shot, but at the end of the day that ball went in the goal, and Costa Rica went to the World Cup, and we didn't.
Let's go even further back, Bill, because I want to talk about the Burko Massive Beach Haven, mate.
Yeah, that's what I want to speak
about.
Yeah,
we're keen on this one. Yeah. Ify, you want to roll off on it?
Old stomping grounds.
Yeah. I want to know what it took to get you to where you got to. Obviously the move to Marseille, crazy. But I remember, from what I remember of you, I was playing locally. I think I was playing at Wairarapa United, and there was this young kid up north.
About 11, wasn't he?
Goals.
About 11 years old, I think.
You were a goal scorer.
Was it primary school?
I was a certified winger back then.
I actually remember speaking to my boss at Wairarapa trying to sign you, and I can't believe you chose Marseille over Wairarapa United.
The weather was a lot better in France. Yeah, Burko Massive, like Birkenhead obviously being my first club, and that's where we basically lived down the road, and that's where me and my old man will always walk down there, and even after school we'll go down there and kick the ball around, obviously train, and even on Sundays we'll go after church, and I just always wanted to be on the field. I didn't really care about even like school. I didn't really care about homework or like all that stuff. I just wanted to grab my soccer ball and take the old man down there. So, but yeah, that was the old stomping grounds. That's where it all started.
How does Mus go on the field, Bill? Like, because I mean, I'll be honest, it's not traditional that a lot of Kiwis know Samoans as footballers.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about
Yeah.
Samoans, you think
Yeah.
about All Blacks and playing rugby and contributing to our sporting landscape in that way. But
Yeah.
you've obviously got the football bug real early on, mate.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Muso obviously played rugby back then. I think I have to give the thanks to my mum because I think I was around 7 or 8, was with my mum watching my dad play rugby, and there was a scrum, and obviously he was in the front line. I think it was like a prop or something, scrum, and it collapsed, and then the back line, like the back guys kept pushing through, and that's when he snapped his neck, and he was out. He was out in coma for I think a few days or like that, and then I think that's the day that my mom was like, "Yep, you ain't playing rugby.
I'll do it.
you gotta kick that round soccer ball." Yeah, so yeah, I think my mom decided, and then my dad obviously just came along, and he figured out that I actually liked the game and was pretty good at it, and yeah, that's how it kicked off.
Sorry, did you say your dad was in a coma?
Yeah, after he snapped his neck and he
What
was in
the
in
hell?
the hospital for so yeah.
That is...
That's and then,
That's
and then he
frightening,
went
Bill.
when he's recovered, and wow, he went to over 35 soccer team. So he was living that.
Gosh.
What a
Over
trooper.
35 at Birkenhead.
That was the moment you both pivoted.
Yeah, literally.
Double career change.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you guys then went down and it was on the football field basically every chance you got
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah, every chance I got. Shout out to Paul Hobson. He's the one that took me under his wing, and I wasn't the greatest back then. There was a lot of kids who were before even better than me. I was just there lingering around, just working hard, and just all I did was just basically listen and watch what Paul was giving me, and also what my old man was showing me on the pitch. So I just took that on board and just kept going and kept fighting. I wasn't making the US1 team. I was always in the second team and all that back in the day, academies and all that region team. So, but yeah, like I just pushed through, and everything fell through, and then I'm still doing that today.
US1, for those that aren't aware, is United
Yeah.
Soccer One. We're showing our
United
age a little
Soccer
bit there, Bill.
Yeah.
But mate, there's so many Tuiloma shirts in the Birkenhead club rooms. Do you get back there often?
Yeah, every time. Well, when I have the chance to go back, I'll go back there and go to the club rooms and see the people that are still there, and the people that I still remember. Some of them have passed away, may they rest in peace. But there's still people there that I still remember, and I'm happy they still remember me. And last time we went there, I think it was 2 years ago. I was like, okay, let's just go down there with my family, just not knowing if the club was going to be open. And we walked down there, the club happened to be open, and it was the first time I actually saw like the whole renovation and how they added more stuff to it, and like change rooms is pretty cool. Like I was in that brick change room, the tight white full brick change room with the showers just around the corner. Now I think they got like 4 more change rooms in there. They got TVs up there. It's pretty cool. And then they have like a big poster of like I think it was me, and then it's like 2 other players. And we walk in, and there's a few kids there, like probably 7 or 8 kids just hanging around. And I meet some of the guys who I knew from way back, and he asks his son, is like, "Do you know who this guy is?" And the kid was like, "No," and he actually showed him, like, "Look at that picture, that's him." And just seeing the kids' eyes is like light up, and they're like, "Oh, that's actually you!" Like, so, and it was actually cool to see those kids, and like those kids have started soccer started football at Birkenhead, so it's actually pretty cool to play with those kids. We played with those kids afterwards as well on the field.
That's awesome, mate.
Just want to speak a little bit about Hobbo, actually. Like, he's somebody that I've always had a lot of time for. Don't know him particularly well, but every time I've caught up with him, without him even realising it, he's probably given advice to me as a younger coach, just by the conversations we have. And I look at all the players that he's helped produce, and one thing runs through every single one of them, and that's work ethic. Is that something he's hard on, or how did that sort of
Yeah, he's always been honest to players. He's always been upfront. He's a old school English coach that I would like to call him, and like he will tell you what you need to work on, and that's what he's been on me. He's been that football coach that took me under his wing, and I just so grateful to be able to work under him and for all those years, and now it's all the little things that he's done for me, all the little extra work and all the little extra encouragement, because he knew I wasn't. I think he knew I wasn't one of like the craziest players that back then. But I think he saw the grit and the hunger that I was showing, and just the motivation to actually learn more. I mean, even to this day, I'm still learning. It's football is a game of lessons and ups and downs, but it's how you respond to each game and how you come back from an injury as well. So yeah.
Myself and Jacob, we're a little bit older than you. Like he's older than you, and I'm older than him. But being a couple of New Zealand Europeans, playing football was just what we did growing up, right?
My dad did.
You're white, you play football.
Yep.
You stay away from rugby league, stay away from rugby union, and kick the round ball. Now, you were born in 1995, so that puts you at 30. So you're growing up in a football scene where I don't think that there are too many Polynesians playing the game.
Football's not sexy at that time either, is it, G?
Yeah, it's definitely not sexy. It's kind of like a dark secret that you're keeping from people. Like, oh, I actually play football. Oh, you what?
Yeah.
So it was kind of like that. Obviously, things have changed, and Spoon knows the figures. Nowadays, at the top level, the upper echelon across the football ferns and the All Whites, there are 35 cultures represented. So we are a melting pot at that top level, and of course, right the way down through to grassroots. But Bill, for you personally, being from that Samoan background, I'm really intrigued by this. When you wanted to play football, were you shunned by your Samoan community for doing so and not playing rugby? And when you played in your football community in those early days, was a predominantly white football scene accepting of you?
Yeah, totally. Like you said, I'm Samoan, and I was the only Samoan kid on that field. Playing with my teammates, they're all white. It's definitely, like you said, definitely a different route I took. Even my my family who I met when I got older, they were surprised I was playing soccer, because, like you said, Samoans, Polynesians, they're more into rugby and rugby league. But yeah, like I said, thanks to my mom, I took a different route, and it's working out so far, and I'm just grateful for that. But yeah, it was. I wasn't surprised. I just loved playing soccer. So even though don't get me wrong, I loved playing rugby league and rugby, but back in the old days, I realized I wasn't getting bigger like my cousins. My cousins were growing 6'2", 6'3", and I was just still the skinny
You learned a
kid
couple
on
of
the
lessons in
side.
the backyard, Bill. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So I was like, my body's getting kind of sore right now, so I'm gonna lay that off and and go down the side. So, but yeah, like it's like I'm like a small version of Samoan, like a Samoan kid. Like all my cousins are like 6'3", weighing, I don't know, 150 pounds, running straight at another Samoan. Like that's not me. I can't do that.
How proud are you that someone like yourself and Michael Boxall, Nico Boxall, you're pioneers in that Polynesian community, to say playing football is actually pretty darn cool, and you can be proud of that?
Yeah, no, I'm 100% proud of it. Especially, like you said, the Boxall brothers. We're representing, our Polynesian culture. And
Marco Stamanic, I should have chucked in the mix as well.
Marco as well, yeah. Marco as well. Like I said, we're representing our Polynesian culture, and we're showing those kids that, look, it's not only rugby league and rugby they can, look towards. It is, also football as well. I've had a few Samoan kids who who recently played for the Samoan national team, reached out to me for advice and all that. So, which is pretty cool. Like now I can see that okay, these kids are actually watching and paying close attention to what we are doing in the football stage.
I unearthed a story from Tangata Pasifika from like 10 years ago, where you welcomed a reporter and their cameras into your home, and you sat down with your parents and showed them photos and things like that. And there was this really fabulous moment where your mother and yourself got almost teary-eyed talking about your football journey and what it meant to her and your father that you were becoming a success. What does it mean to you to be able to pay them back for what they did for you growing up?
Oh man, it means a lot. I think any kid that comes up and being raised by their parents and going to rugby league, going to rugby, football, it can be whatever. Any kid wants to give thanks back to the parents and show them that we're so grateful for the sacrifices they've made. Going back to that moment, I'm the only child, which is rare in the Samoan family or Polynesian family. So like me leaving that kind of like made there was like a house empty, and because they were so used to being with me, and I'm used to being with them, and I did leave a quiet spot in their hearts, but they knew what they were going going through, and they knew what they were sacrificing for me, and I'm just so grateful for that. And there was even my dad sold his boat for me to get on the trip. I think it was one of the US1 trips to go to Papua New Guinea. That was my first trip going away for a New Zealand representing team. And one day I walk out like, where's the boat? So and then I found out later, he sold it. So
that's incredibly selfless, mate.
Yeah. The things that he's done for me to get to where I'm at is I can only say thank you and give them love and and grace for that.
That's beautiful,
mate.
That
is beautiful, yeah.
Another thing I want to talk about, and this is going to change gears, but also something that's beautiful, the haircuts back in the day, Bill. Like pure scucks, I think is the right way to put it.
Please do not say scucks. Please do not say that again.
Man, we're going to find a photo. How good were they, Bill? And how long did they take to prepare?
It at least took an hour, for sure. Back then I used to have long hair, now I just went bald and, going military style, man. It's a lot better. Don't have to do anything, no products, man.
Who did the colouring?
Wash your hair and that was it. Had the highlights on. Oh my gosh, yeah. I don't even want to talk about it.
Let's talk about Marseille. Ife, mate, I'm sure you've got a couple of questions in here about Marcelo Bielsa. But Bill, first off, talk to me about the person that he is. Like, he looks like he's on 24/7. He doesn't like sleep. He recharges. He's just so intense.
All the things you see and read on the news and online, on the media, it's so true. He's a one-of-a-kind coach, a very unique coach, also a coach who loves young players as well. So, but yeah, all the training sessions that you might have heard, it's real. It's so true. It's so true. But like I said, he loved bringing up in younger players, and that's what he did with us, me and a few players as well. So yeah.
I just want to go back a little bit, and I want to, from where you were to Marseille, there must have been some steps in between. So, what was the first trial? I think QPR. I think I read. And how did that turn into Marseille?
QPR had a connection with Marseille through Joy Barton, because he went.
It's a hell of a connection,
QPR.
Bill.
Yeah, so he went from QPR to Marseille and played a couple years there. So. Yeah, I just couldn't sign in England because of I think hopefully the rules have changed, but I think back then you had to have some type of relative who lived in England. Before all QPR, I travelled in around Europe. Went to Spain, Holland around there as well. I've said the story a lot of times. Like there was probably like 5 clubs who said no, and I was like. I think I was like 16, or no, I was 17 at that time, And obviously trialing around those clubs and clubs saying no, taking cold train stations, waiting outside, and traveling with over to another spot. Was me, my agent, and his partner. But yeah, it was basically clubs just saying no, sorry, no. Like there was every single club saying no, and even so, QPR was my last one, and they unfortunately said no. And at that point, I wanted to go home. Like I was like, all right. I was like telling my agent, like, I'm done. Like I can't be asked going to Marseille for a week, and just exhausted. Like 17-year-old kid who left mum and dad, so and family. But it was that night. I think it was the night before going to France. My agent was like, all right, you know what? Let's just sleep on it, and we'll come back tomorrow, and we'll make a decision then. But then the next morning, my agent just convinced me to go, and I was like, you know what? Okay, I'll go. I'll go there, and then a week at Marseille, did really well, played a game, and I went back and was preparing for the. Actually, I was preparing for the U20 World Cup. Going to Turkey. And I was in my car with my mum. She was dropping me off to the camp before we go out there. I get an email from my agent for a 2-year deal at Marseille. Ready to sign. So I'm just just like I said, I'm just grateful for the people I have around me, and encouraging me to go. And so so that's how everything kicked off. Me going to Marseille, and after the World Cup, I went straight there and signed a deal.
That's crazy that your agent could see it. Do you know what I mean? One more go.
It was just one more, yeah.
Yeah, one more little go. I was similar. It resonates with me because I rang my agent as a kid. I was at Millwall, and I rang my agent. I was 18, couldn't see a way into the first team, and I said, "Get me out of it. I want to go home. I'm exhausted. I'm done." And he did the same. And I didn't have a father. I didn't speak to my dad at that time, so he was my sort of father figure. And he said, "Nah, stick with it. You're going to be in the first team." Before you know it, about 3 weeks later, I made my debut, and you sort of think, Jesus, if you haven't got the right people around you at the right time, as well as your parents, then you can sometimes come unstuck. That's cool.
No, man, I was ready to go home. Like, look, I'm exhausted. We've been traveling around for month and a half, 2 months, and I'm just grateful that my agent convinced me, like, look, just do this one more trip. It's like, all right, let's do it.
What was your agent up to, mate?
He persuaded him to go home.
No, if you want
to... He's like, I'll meet you at the airport. Here are your tickets. Off you go.
On that, I went to the Milk Cup, Bill, and we did really well. So Jeremy Brockie became the top goal scorer in our competition for that. We ended up finishing above Manchester United with PK and Rossi. They'd just been signed, and Sir Alex sent them to this tournament just to kind of introduce them to British football. And I had Birmingham City and Manchester City, and they were like, oh, you can come across for like 6 months, do a trial kind of thing, basically an extended trial. And it was only 2 months later, I found out that Fulham didn't know how to get in touch. I didn't have an agent. And the manager of the team that I'd gone over with, turned out he was a bit of an alcoholic and had a couple of debts to pay. He was trying to negotiate with them on the deal that they put on the table, and he wanted a fee. And Fulham were like, we're not paying that. And he was demanding it. So I'm not across all the details, but what I've been told is I missed out on a 2-year deal there. I think it was a YTS going into a 1-year pro. But that's my lack of agent story in that one.
Oh, dear.
There you go. So, like I said, you got to surround yourself with the right people. Spoon.
Exactly, I feel. Exactly.
Look, he's proud to say that he finally is. Like.
It's a bit late. It's a bit late now.
Right.
Yeah. Bill, we'll talk offline. Bill, we'll talk offline. But mate, I'm intrigued. Back to Bielsa. Like, this guy is a football alchemist. He is a maverick. He's enigmatic.
Loco.
You cannot define him. And all of the top coaches, Guardiola, De Zerbi, they all seem to draw upon his ideas. He's almost bigger than football in a lot of regards, like putting beds into like the change rooms or something like that is what I've heard. Murderball, which you're going to have to explain to people, because when I was watching one of those like Saturday afternoon shows, it's like a magazine show. It's like Marcelo Bielsa at Marseille, he's doing all this cool stuff. And then I was literally Leonardo DiCaprio. I was like, "There's Bill. What the fuck's Bill doing?" But talk to us about Murderball to start off with.
Yeah, like, so he will have this group called the sparring partners, and I was part of that sparring. It was like a bunch of young kids, and that group will go out hour and a half on the pitch and go through the whole training session, go through the whole exercises, and like once it perfect, like his coaching staff will come out with their big ass laptops and be like, "Hey, this is you," and it's kind of like an NFL playbook. It's like we all come together, look where we're at, and we'll just break out and go to our positions. And we will do all these exercises, and he wants it to be perfect, like the pass clean, the touch clean, the movement clean, just everything clean. He just wanted to be. He's that coach that wants everything to be perfect, and like long balls, he wouldn't let you. We wouldn't allow to hit like a curl ball. It was like full on laces, like zing it, like ping it out there. And so we'll go through the whole exercise, and then the first team will come in, and then we have to show them for another hour and a half, and we'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that every day. So we will have to come in.
Is this a 9 to 5 session?
We will have to come in like at 2 hours before, 2.5 hours before, change, watch the video, and then do the whole training session. Come inside. First team will go out. We'll all go out with the first team. We will show them on what's the whole system, like what's the whole passing exercise, what's the what type of ball that he wanted to hit over the defender, and what pace he wants you to do of changing movement and all that. But yeah, it was, and then you got to add videos, and it was video every day. It was video every day down to what shoes they wear. Yeah, it was like he wanted everything to be perfect.
And then I think the whole time here.
Ify, would you have survived?
No chance. No.
Like there wasn't even a pop, mate. There was genuine curiosity because I'm sitting here thinking, that's mentally tolling.
No, but I think for me, and I'll ask Bill this in a minute, but for me, like I would have wanted, if you're a young player coming through, you need the buy-in from the coach that you're going to improve. So like, these sparring partners have probably got that. As a senior pro, I'm probably looking going, shit, are we winning games? As a senior player, you want to bring the young ones through, don't get me wrong, but you want to bring them through to make the first team better, so you're all winning together. So ultimately, if Marseille are top of the table winning the French Cup, going into the Champions League, as a senior player, I'm happy. As a young player, you can see why you'd be happy, but if you're not doing that top part, it must have been difficult to get the buy-in from the senior pros.
It was difficult, and there were times where there's times when he actually told us training is done because of one exercise that wasn't very well. It wasn't going to his plan. We'll be in training, doing exercises for like 35 minutes in training. He'll be like, "No, don't like the exercise. Everyone go inside." Done.
And so what, training restarts? Or like
training? We're training and we're like 30-40 minutes in. Doesn't like the exercise? All right, everyone in. But he'll keep the whole coaching staff outside. And he's sitting on his little cooler, and he's got the coaches stuff around him. I don't know what he's talking about, but I can probably guess why he's got them out there. He's probably talking about the exercises, this whatever. But yeah, there'll be times that we'll be out there. Well, obviously we're out there like an hour and a half, but then everyone's out there 40 minutes in, training's done. Everyone go inside. So, but that's these times that he'll just do some stuff, and we'll be like, "Wait, is this guy serious?"
As crazy as he was,
yes.
What's the one thing that has resonated with you throughout the rest of your football career that you learnt from Bielsa?
I think it's just, we're not all perfect in our game. We're all trying to perfect it, and we're all trying to improve our our weaknesses and all that. But I think it was just the focus in training that I think that's the main one that impacted me. Because you never know who's watching, and he's got eyes on everybody. Even though he's somewhere in the attacking side, he's still watching. Like, it's the focus that you have to put in training, because that's whatever you do in training, that's got to transition into the game on the weekend. So it's just the focus and trying to be the best that you can be, not for your team, but not just for your team as well, also for yourself.
I always look back to the start of my career, my first coach, and I revert everything back to that after that. So, you know, the next club you go to, is the training similar? Like, you've gone in with arguably one of the greatest coaches in the history of the game, and then was it downhill from there, or did you take... No, but listen,
Careful.
I'm not talking about your career. I'm talking about the coaching you're receiving, because
No, it's a great point, Ivy, isn't it? Like, expectations are up here.
Yeah. I'm not going to listen to this guy. He's shit.
Sorry, what? No, 4-4-2. Don't think so, Sunshine.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, you know, like you said, he's one of, you know, the greatest and one of the icons of in the coaching world, and obviously, and then we got the players I was with. You got Andre Gignac, you have Mario Lemina, you have Florian Dorvin, who's doing really well. You had the Ayew brothers. That team was unbelievable. And their focus and the focus on I think it was mainly on the senior players. The senior players, you can kind of see they're like, all right, what are we doing here? Like, what is this? And then like, but yeah, like I don't think it's changed. I always respect coaches and respect their game and what they bring to the table and their knowledge of the football game. But I could say that Bielsa is probably. He's up there. He's up there next to Paul Hobson. So he's my guy.
Wow. We do this segment, Bill, where it's kind of like trying to connect our Kiwi footballers to the greatest players in the world game, right? And so it's 4 X's with Collinson. And so you are player and manager, and you get to select the 4 best players that you've played with or against as your teammates. So who would make up your 4 X's?
First one has to be Ronaldo.
Which
played
one?
against him in CR7. I was too young to play against.
I was going to say, Spoons, Jesus Christ. You were time traveller.
You played him at a promo or something.
Mate,
you know?
Bill's been around since the age of 11, as we've
I played
established.
against him on
Okay.
FIFA, actually.
Which one? You're the smartest guy I know, and you ask which one. Come on, Spoon.
There's only one Ronaldo.
Jeez, I'm not that old, man.
Don't you start mixing in with this boy. Bad influences you too.
Ronaldo played against me in the Confeds. That was a pretty cool experience. Just to see him, like, wow, okay, he's right there. Andre Gignac, he was at Tigres. That guy was a goal scoring machine. And I think he still is. Just everything he puts as a striker, like back then when I was with Marseille, just seeing him, his movement, his quality on first touch, his vision and awareness of where the ball is gonna go, and you know, he's always in the right spot. But these times where the ball is bouncing and his back's facing the goal, he just turns and just smacks the top corner. Like, it's, you know, he's a freak at the front of the goal, and yeah, he'll be my second. Third, Payet.
Oh, wow.
Payet, yeah. Obviously, he's at Marseille. Payet, obviously, we all seen him. Was it West Ham?
Free kick.
And the crazy things he was doing there, free kicks and all that. He's also another player that just, you know, I couldn't stop watching in training. In training, he wanted everything to be perfect. He was swifty. He was kind of like he's kind of like a Luis Diaz player back then, and just the quickness that he gets on the ball and the explosive that he will dribble at a defender and, you know, beat him, and then finishing. We can always talk about finishing and his set pieces and all that. So, but yeah, so that's number 3.
Yeah, we've got a high bar for number 4. High bar.
One more. I might have to go with the defender.
Goalkeepers are okay as well, Bill. Like, just throw on a goalkeeper.
Defender.
Nice try, Jacob.
Wait, do
Nice
I need
try,
a goalkeeper?
Nah.
No.
No.
Hey, Bill, you do whatever
we
your
got
heart,
we got the
heart
small
desires.
training goals, right? So we don't need
Exactly.
to-
Oh, come
exactly.
off, man.
Yeah, tiny training goals.
Okay. Nah, I think I this is the player that I wished I played more games with, but unfortunately, his injuries throughout his career, I would have to go with Winnie. Um, that guy's a beast. My first time seeing him was the All Whites call up, and I just look at him, I'm like, holy hell, this guy's huge. And
He's got
I think
aura, hey, Bill. He's got an aura.
Yeah, it's just like he's not a big talkative guy, but just his presence being there is just like, yeah, you know when he's in the room, but he likes to joke around, which is pretty cool. But yeah, my second training session with the All Whites, I was chasing the ball down the line, and I can just feel his presence. Like, I just know, I was like, all right, I'm about to get hit here. So just he's sprinting towards like side to side, and he just nudged me. I was like, all right, yeah.
It's like a Clydesdale coming towards you, Bill.
Yeah, I'll pick Winnie. Yeah, for sure.
Bill has been all around the world. He's plied his trade everywhere. And in his 4Xs, he's got a Kiwi. He's got an all white.
That's
Winston
brilliant.
Reid.
We'll talk about the lack of goalkeeper later, Bill, but that's fine.
Hey, just lastly, before we let you go, Bill, and thank you so much for your time, mate. News just in the last couple of days, your association with Charlotte has ended. And obviously, we spoke earlier about Michael Vought's carrot in the room.
Yes, that was great.
That was his phrase from last week. The carrot in the room is the World Cup. You need to be playing football. How disappointed are you that the association with Charlotte has ended? And what are the next steps to make sure you're playing at the highest possible level to prove to Darren Baisley and the All Whites coaching staff that you are ready for the FIFA World Cup of 2026, mate?
Yeah, obviously gutted. But look, like I've said this before, that's football. That's how this business work. These ups and downs in your season, and I haven't had a lot of ups. With obviously being injured a lot and not playing the games. But the goal is for this off season is to get ready, to get prepared, to get super fit, and I think I have the hunger and the motivation this off season just to go all out and be ready for the next season, and hopefully me and my agents can work something out with for a different club, and hopefully that works out in the next month, and I'm just going to do my part of preparing myself and getting my body ready for that for next year, and especially with the World Cup. You wanna improve, you wanna impress Bays, and definitely want to be of a club and playing. So that's the number one. It's the number one thing that players need to be at, being healthy, and then second, always obviously playing games.
Is the preference to stay in the States?
That'll be the first preference. But if I have to go abroad, I would definitely do. And then if everything falls in line and everything's I'm happy with, MLS probably be first. Yeah.
Bill, you've been packing up. You've taken time out of your day to get away from the boxes, mate, and stand your part doing that in the background.
Yeah.
Hey, mate, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it, brother. And Ify, last word over to you.
Nice to get to speak to you. Sort of watched your career from afar. You've been doing some great stuff, so I'm hopeful that you get sorted out nice and quickly, and you can make a rush for that World Cup spot.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's a lot of fun.
Missed opportunity for Wairarapa United.
Always got regrets, Spoons. Always got regrets.
It's been a whole different story. Could have been an even better story back then.